Welcome back to another episode of NBA Weekly. I'm your host, Pee Wee the Plug, 1/4 through the wire, the number one Knicks fan in the world, aka Mr. Know-It-All. And listen, before we get to the topic at hand, I have to give a special shout out to you guys, the subscribers. I know over the last month or two, my channel hasn't been consistent as it once was. For those of you that don't know, I now have my third show. Obviously through the wire, Tuesday and Saturdays, I have a music show, HOH House Party, where I interview a lot of different artists and musicians. And now, newly, I have a third show, a Bleacher Report, called Pre-Game Picks with Drose, the comedian. So it's a lot to juggle, a lot to handle for me. I'm still getting used to the schedule and everything that goes with having three shows and whatnot, the busyness. And the more and more I get, used to the schedule, the more I'll know about how much time and when I can dedicate that time to my YouTube channel. So I haven't forgotten about you guys at all. I'm going to be coming back. But like I said, just allow me to get used to the things that I'm juggling right now. And once I get my feet set and just in place with everything that I had going, I'll be able to know how much time or when to dedicate it to the YouTube. But to the overall plan and topic, the Derrick Rose trade. So the New York Knicks are acquiring Derrick Rose from the Detroit Pistons for Dennis Smith Jr. and a second-round pick via the Charlotte Hornets. First reactions from me, the self-proclaimed number one Knicks fan in the world. Of course, anytime something happens pertaining to my team, it's only right that you come and hear the reaction from me. I'm ecstatic. You guys know I'm a Chicago born and raised kid, so I love Derrick Rose. I love everything about him. I'm tied to him. We like family. When you're from Chicago, you go where Derrick Rose go. It's something that's just, it's automatic. Nothing else to be said. We ride for D Rose. He rides for the city. Y'all already know that. So I'm happy with that. Now, when it comes to the on-court, situations and things like that, I'm also happy with it because the point guard position is one of the positions that we have really, really lacked. And we've lacked that position for a very long time. Now, I will say, Knick Nation, including myself, we're very ecstatic with how Emmanuel Quickley has performed and how he's done. But the fact of the matter is that he's still a rookie. And he has his moments where he is going to look like a rookie, and it's not going to always be those 31-point performances like against the Blazers or anything like that. And it's just growing pains. With any rookie, there's going to be growing pains. So I'm okay with bringing Derrick Rose in. And I don't think he's going to affect Emmanuel Quickley in his minutes at all. I think Emmanuel Quickley embodies exactly what we want this new New York regime to be. He's gritty. He's hardworking. He's earning everything that he's given. He can shoot the ball. He can defend on, off the ball, multiple positions in the backcourt. So he's embodying everything that we want this new New York team to be. So I don't think he's in trouble at all. I think the other guards are in trouble for when Derrick Rose come in as far as minutes on the court. I think Austin Rivers is going to be affected. I think Alec Burks could be affected. I think Reggie Bullock, depending on how he's shooting the ball game by game, could be affected. Elfrid Payton, one game he looks very good. Next game he is not so good. So I think those other veteran guards that we have that are inconsistent, they're going to be the ones that are affected more with the Derrick Rose acquisition more than Emmanuel Quickley. I think Emmanuel Quickley is going to be good. He is a rookie. He's a part of the future plans of this team. And I think everybody knows that. I think the coaching staff knows that. I think the front office knows that. So they're going to keep Emmanuel Quickley in a position to where he can continue to develop, continue to grow, and continue to be a part of the future while still adding to this current team and contributing to this current team that we have. So I'm okay with that. And I also think that Emmanuel Quickley and Derrick Rose can coexist in a backcourt together. Emmanuel Quickley has shown he can play on the ball, off the ball. I love him as an off-ball shooter. Like I said, can guard multiple positions in a backcourt. So I think he could still play the minutes that he's playing, and I think that they actually can play together. My more so thing is about when Derrick Rose and Julius Randle is on the court together. Seeing that, Julius Randle kind of plays a point forward type thing for us. Derrick Rose is shooting about 33% from the three. He's never been a lights out shooter. And how is that going to coexist? You know what I'm saying? So I want to see how that works, how we figure that out. And, just pretty much that. I mean, I'm okay with it. I'm trusting Thibodeau. I'm trusting a relationship between Rose and Thibodeau. They have extremely amount of trust in each other. That's why Rose has played on every single team that Tibbs has ever coached, which is kind of crazy to me. It kind of reminds me of like an NBA 2K my league, where you have that one player that you always try to get in free agency because you're like, man, I trust that guy. I know his jump shot. He's always reliable. Every 2K series or 2K YouTuber that you've seen, we all have those guys that we always try to go and get that we like. So it kind of reminds me of that. But I love it. I want to see D-Rose get back to being that D-Rose that we saw over the last couple of years. Like the sixth man of the year conversation type guy. I don't think it'll happen this year because I think Jordan Clarkson has ran off with the sixth man of the year award. It's his. There's not even a second place guy. It's all Jordan Clarkson as of now. Shout out to him. But I do want to see D-Rose get back to being that 18-point scorer. This year hasn't quite been that way. The Pistons have like a weird team. They're in a weird situation. They're losing. I think they both coming into the season knew that it was going to be inevitable that Derrick Rose would be moved. He's on the last year of his deal. And they kind of have a youth movement going on over there. So I get it and I understand it. But I want to see him come back over here, get his minutes up. His minutes dropped with the Pistons this season. And get his minutes and opportunity up. And I think when that does happen, we can expect to see that Derrick Rose over the last couple of years with Detroit and Minnesota. And if we get that Derrick Rose, it'll be the best point guard that we have on roster. No doubt about it. I think the inconsistencies have hurt us this season at that position. You know what I mean? We can't rely, like I said, on a rookie Emmanuel Quickley to come out and be able to do some of the things he's done on a night in, night out basis. We just can't. It's too much to put on the shoulders of him. So bringing in a Derrick Rose is going to be a lot more steady option than the Elfrid Paytons, than the Austin Rivers, or even the Alec Burks as far as the point guard position. It's genius. And then when you think about why the reason it's genius is when you think about what we gave up to get him. We didn't really give up anything. We gave up a second round pick, which was from Charlotte, and not the Detroit second round pick that we own, because that'll kind of be like an extended first round pick. We didn't give up a first round pick. They wanted Kevin Knox. We said no, and we literally gave them Dennis Smith Jr., who was asking to be in the G League. We literally didn't give up anything. So I feel like it's a win-win. If Derrick Rose comes and he's just bad, he's just terrible, we're okay. His last year of his deal, he walks. If he comes over and he's steady, he's the best option that we have, perfect. We can make a playoff push, especially if the Mavericks continue to struggle the way that they are. Now, when it comes to that, I am a very, very humble Knick fan, because I know that the Mavericks can still be a dangerous team out there, and they could put together 4, 5, 6 wins in a row and get right back in that playoff mix out west, and our pick won't be as valuable as it's looking right now. So I'm holding my tongue until I know just how bad the Mavericks are going to be, or how realistic it is to get my hopes up about having a high value lottery pick. But I don't want to jump to conclusions because it's still early. I was one of those Knick fans early in the season saying if we made the playoffs, of course I wouldn't be against it. But for the long-term, long-run future, how much does making the playoffs benefit us? You know what I mean? Because we are rebuilding. Like, I love the way Julius Randle is playing. I love the way, sometimes RJ Barrett is playing. I love what I'm getting from Quickley. I can't wait to see what Obi Toppin is going to be able to contribute, because we haven't seen that much of him. Mitch Robinson has his games, and he also has his games where it's not so pretty. So I'm liking what I'm seeing, but I can't lie to myself and not say that we don't need more talent. We need talent. We cannot be trying to make a playoff push off the backs of veterans or guys who potentially just won't be here. You know what I mean? Like, Julius Randle might not be here. Who knows? You know what I'm saying? So I would love to continue to try to get those asses and those picks and as much young talent as we can, especially in a loaded draft like this one. So, like I said, I don't want to jump to any conclusions about the Dallas Mavericks and how they're going to be and how they're going to finish. But I am hoping that pick does turn into something if we're going to be making a push to the playoffs. Because then we would have our pick, that pick, Detroit's second round pick, our own pick. We'll be looking nice heading into this draft. And we saw what those late first round picks or late in the draft picks can do for us, because we got Quickley like that. We got Mitchell Robinson like that. So we are one of those teams who are doing a lot of good things at the back end of the draft. So I'm anxious. I think Derrick Rose will help us continue to solidify ourselves as a respectable competitive playoff team. Like I said, I just can't wait to see who is going to be affected by it. And reports have already came out that other playoff teams are going to be attracted to Austin Rivers come the trade deadline. There was a playoff team in particular that showed some interest in Elfrid Payton and adding him. So we have a lot of guys that we can work with and kind of move around at the trade deadline as well to get other assets, like replacing that second round pick, maybe a first round. I don't know. I have no idea. I don't want to jump to any conclusions again. But we do have movable pieces that we'll be able to use come the trade deadline. And the Knicks are sending a message that nobody is safe. You know what I mean? It's time to step up and it's time to hoop. If you're not with it, or you're not contributing, or you're not showing that you're worth it, they're gonna move you. Thibodeau is coming in. He's not gonna tank. He's not gonna take the easy way out. We're gonna compete. We're gonna hold everybody accountable. And if you're not doing those things, you're gonna be traded. Dennis Smith Jr. is the guy that I was hoping that could turn around this year, and he wasn't touching the floor. Frank Ntilikina isn't cracking rotational minutes. You can blame it on an injury or anything. I know they're trying to put out a lot of different things. Frank isn't playing. Simple as that. And you have games where Kevin Knox is doing his thing and he's playing, and you have games where Kevin Knox ain't touching the court at all. We've seen times when Nerlens Noel is taking the real minutes from Mitchell Robinson. Like, if you're not hooping, Thibodeau ain't playing you. So, as of right now, I'm loving it. I think Derrick Rose can come in and set that same type of tempo for a young player like Quickley, where it's like, man, ain't shit promised. Same thing RJ Barrett. If you're not hooping, we have other guys that'll come in and do what they're supposed to do for us to win. And I think that sets a really good example and a really good message for our young guys to push and be better. And I think it sets a good example for the vets, because it makes the young guys more hungry, like Emmanuel Quickley. And you can't take a night off or a playoff when you're Austin Rivers or Alec Burks or whoever, when you have a guy like Emmanuel Quickley who's coming to take your minutes. You just can't. And as long as we keep pushing each other like that, we're going to continue to have a nice competitive group of guys who can make a playoff push. And last but not least, the Derrick Rose effect also is that he's a veteran. Like Taj Gibson, they're all veterans from a successful Chicago team. And it'll be nice for the young guys to have them. So, as always, I'm Pee Wee the Plug. If you're new, subscribe, leave a comment, leave a like. I'm out. Go Knicks.